Hello, in this video we are going to do a review of a health check for the TrueSite Operations Management reporting tool, the report engine. Let's check some documentation. Here we have a chart that is going to let us identify if our environment is small, medium or large. Here I have some database queries from the report engine database. I'll have them available in a document attached to the knowledge article related to this video. These numbers are letting us know the amount of report engines, the number of devices, total number of data points collected within an hour, and some other collection and aggregation of performance data. Depending on the amount that these numbers show is going to identify the size of our environment. Once we identify it, we can just allocate the recommended amount of memory in the report engine service and also the database. Here are some hardware recommendations. First, for the report engine service, the server, well, depending on the amount of data processing, is going to have a different allocation of resources. Likewise with the database in Oracle and the database in SQL. Finally, this third document is going to show some configuration tuning that is going to help us in certain scenarios. For example, when we are collecting a large amount of data for a specific MO, we may want to reduce the amount of data that is collected in certain amount of time. To change these properties, we can go to the report engine installation folder and then search for the configuration file shown in the document. And also we can enable rate data, for example. This is also talking about the retention data. It's important to understand that the retention depends on the amount of data your environment can process, can handle. However, we can do that modification also in the database by modifying any of these records. We can do modifications to the memory of the report engine, also in the installation files. We can go to the service wrapper and then the service wrapper configuration and find the parameters of the minimum memory and the maximum memory allocated to the report engine service. We can also handle the amount of threads of reading and writing that can be done at the same time. For that, we go to the transformations and search for the stat transformation. That is the one that controls the table output and table input of the raw data. So the input is writing, amount of threads is 1 by default, and the table output parameter is going to give us the amount of read threads that can be handled at the same time. Finishing with the documentation, we can check out some stuff from the database. It is common to have problems with the file groups. I have some queries here that are also included in the knowledge article that are going to help you monitor the free space for the files from the report engine database and also from the temp database, that it also needs to be monitored. In case we have a problem with a file group, we can go to the Object Explorer and right-click the database and select the column autogrowth and click the 3 dots button to the right. Here we have the option to do autogrowth and the parameters, or we can select a max size or do unlimited. If we do unlimited, we need to monitor the hard drive. Also, it's important to monitor the use of resources from the servers. Here are some queries that let us know information about the memory usage. These queries are included in a Microsoft document, also linked in the knowledge article. Checking the server, the CPU usage, and also the hard disk space usage. It's recommended to set up alarming if any of these resources is not available. well, the data collection could stop. Finally, a recommendation to use dedicated servers for these applications. Do not add third-party applications to this database server, only the reporting tool databases. And likewise, for the report engine service, it's recommended to have a dedicated server.